Tulsa King, episode 8. I really enjoyed this episode as always. I really don't think there's a bad episode of this show. And I'm sorry if it feels like I'm rushing through what I'm saying here. It's just I've recorded this video once before, and so I'm just trying to get through it. But I do really want to talk about this episode still. What I really liked about this episode is you can see that this is not a drama-filled crime mafia show, which I like because this episode is very solid at continuing to set up where we're going with this show. You see that season 2 might be more drama filled, but this first season is more slow because you get an introduction to these characters. They're building a crime syndicate in this town of Tulsa because you hear them talk about like, hey, in this episode, like you're gonna set up this casino and they're gonna do this and do that, and that's cool. I like that kind of stuff. It allows the show to be a very different like mafia type show because it's in a smaller town, which is very unique. It's more comedy focused, which is still very unique. It's got a lot of like characters that have more depth behind them, which is not unusual for a show like that, but it still allows these characters to feel more fresh than like a show that would be kind of similar but not too similar to The Sopranos. So I really enjoyed that aspect of this episode, and I thought, like seeing them build this stuff and put it together is very interesting for the type of show this is. And yeah, I just really enjoyed that aspect of it, and I really enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed the comedy in this episode. You see our one driver kid, with holding the gun wrong like an idiot, and I really feel like that's foreshadowing his death because you're like, he's talking about how holding a gun like that's gonna get you killed. Well, it's like he kind of has a character that could very much be a tug of the heartstrings death for the audience. Maybe he'll be like the death in the season finale or something. I don't know. I really, really enjoyed this episode. Thought it was incredibly solid, and I cannot wait for next week's finale.